Do you know the best night I've had in the last 5 years is a night that Zoe and I split a bottle of wine, we made a summer salad, and watched chocolat together?
You mean chocolate?
Chocolat.
Chocolate with Johnny Depp.
Chocolat.
You're not
They say great art is difficult to understand, but easy to enjoy.
Hey, Beavis. It's hard, but it's not like hard.
Yeah.
Evening! Good evening, good afternoon, wherever, whenever, however you all are. Welcome to Clobby's Comic Shop. Issue number 71. 71? Yeah, we're here, and we got bodies here piling all up in the chat. Thank you for being here early and right away. I appreciate that. You guys are excellent. Of course, that's like saying grass is green. Of course, you guys are excellent. So, let's acknowledge those faces in our chat. Okay. Deep Bowl 101. Vince Womack. How's it going? Snort a poop is Cuber. How's it going, Snorty? Nice to see you here, man. D-Bud Martin. Tim Hayes. Vulcan Liz. What's up? Great to see you guys here. Of course, sorry, 13 of you here. And of course, the Rumble chat is lighting up too. Commoners over there. Deep Bull 101, Vince Womack. I'd love to see it. Guys, thank you. I love to see this right away. It's almost like I'm overcorrecting for being so late last week. I'm like, I'm going to be right on time today. And here we are, right on time. All right. So, let's bring in our dudes in here. Like the common nerd, he's a dude.
I am a dude on occasion.
You are a dude. Yeah, on occasion. Oh, so you make choices.
Sometimes. I mean, it's 2025, right? It's almost 2026. That's how things work nowadays, right? You can be flexible and fluid with all of these kind of things. This week, I'm Santa Claus. Next week, I'll be Krampus. 3 weeks from now, who knows? I'll be Deeple's mom. So I have no idea how all this is going to work.
Do I just get to identify as a present just because I say so?
I mean, that's how that seems to be the new rules anyway. And I mean, if that's how things are going to play. I mean, you know what? If anything, you should identify as Condiment King.
Ooh.
See, there are upsides to their insanity. Yeah. There's upsides to the insanity. King. See, there you go. And now if you squirt people with ketchup and mustard, you're just cosplaying. You're not actually assaulting anyone. You're just cosplaying. I did. Well, I have that effect on women, so. But yeah. Wait.
Well, I'm glad you're here, and thanks for being here early and right away.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it. Subhuman 84. Hello. He's alive. We got Ironcaster as well, sir. How are you?
Why, hello, gentlemen, and welcome.
Ho, ho, ho.
How we doing?
Ho, 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 indeed. I'm pretty good, dude. I've had a pretty busy Saturday, but, that's all good. Christmas shopping is I'd say, like, 85% done. And the things I got to get remain. I know I can get. I got to get it done in the next few days. So I'm, like, not worried at all. And we're going to do next Friday. Me and my brother meet up with his girlfriend and son, and I'm gonna bring my kids out. We're gonna go out to meet each other at the Dells. We got a sweet hotel, so we're pretty stoked on the Dells. I'm loving it. So it's gonna be fun. And yeah, except I'm gonna have local places there. So. Sometimes I am loving it. Sometimes I am loving it with McDonald's on the occasion, but it's going to be all about the locals there because there's a few places I'm already eyeing. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to do that one. I'm going to do that one. Gonna be great. Oh, I can't wait. I'm excited for the Dells. I'm excited. The fact that we're gonna go swimming in December, it just sounds cool to say swimming in December. So there's a nice big gigantic indoor pool at the hotel we're staying. I might keywords might meet up with my buddy. You guys may have heard him around these parts. Tom Connors, The Midnight's Edge. Okay, so I know, right? Never heard of the guy. Hopefully,
never heard of that guy. I have no idea who he is whatsoever. Tell that turtly, chubby little bastard we love him.
Oh, of course,
Ninja Turtle.
What's up, Jonathan Conroy? Brad Young, hello. Is that suicide, dude? Damn right, it's a suicidal tendencies hat, man. No, I was reading my Dave Mustaine book, but I finally, after a few months of owning it, finally finished it because. Busyness, reading 800 different things. And I found this one photo showed Dave Mustaine when he was younger and he was wearing the hat. I was like, I stole it from him. It was me, Austin. It was me all along. I just threw in a Vince McMahon Attitude Era reference in there, but yeah, it was me. It was me, Dave. I took your hat. It's mine. All mine. But for real though. No, I like this hat. I love the band, and hopefully one day I'll maybe actually see them because the list of amount of bands I want to see, my list is really narrowed, but they're still on there. Yeah, I do have a war inside my head going on. War inside my head. War head. I'm gonna go on a tangent, and then the show's gonna be tendencies. Let's not make it about that. What's up, Comic Booth Crusader? Oh, dude, I hate what happened to Tom's show. I know. I'm not about it at all. Comics are starting to dry up to Christmas coming. Yeah, I know this week I got Flash Gordon, G.I. Joe, and Conan. So that should be cool. What are some of our favorite? See, I don't know if I could pick a particular riff, but I've only listened to one full album. Only one, because I've heard other songs from throughout albums. As far as a full album, Destroyer. That's a great album. I like it. Like it a lot. What's up, Read by Nature? Hello, sir. Oh, hello. We got other dude in the back. Hi, Pablo.
Howdy ho!
I was almost hoping you would say it and realize you didn't have your mic. You realized, damn it! I wanted you to boomer it. I wanted you to boomer it.
I was this close. Ah, man. Today we had something, man, to talk about.
Oh, we're gonna get into it, and we're gonna get into it quickly, in next 2-3 minutes, quickly. And hello, Jeremy Hambry. I want to acknowledge your comments. Says disagree with you, Nick, on Supergirl. I think he'll do more than Superman because of Lobo. Tell me why I'm wrong. If he's in the movie for 5 minutes, women are gonna come. All right, here's what I'm gonna say to that. I think the trailer looks like trash, but we're not going to get into that because I've already talked about it on 2 hour streams, and I'm not going to make this the 900th hour stream you could go to. You already got plenty of that, and you'll probably still have 900 more. So aside about how I feel like the trailer's trash, I actually did say, and I think this is a very important point here. I did say there is a chance if this does make money, it's because there's enough drunk, trashy Jersey Shore type of ladies out there who are going to see this type of movie and think that they see themselves this way. I said, I think it was on TNT, this could be the Barbie of the DCU. And I hate saying that. I hate admitting that. I hope I'm wrong. I want this to bomb. I want it to bomb huge. But you guys got to see from the angle of there is a lot of these types of ladies out there. They might not even think of it as a combo. They just might see his girl go on a drunken adventure. And they might, because of that, they might see it and they might love it. And then before you know it, Supergirl's history can get ruined by this idea of this is how she's always been, even though there's literal decades of continuity to prove otherwise. I hate the idea, but there is that weird back in the head thought that this could be a super Jersey Shore drunk bitch friendly movie. I hope I'm wrong. I want it to bomb. I want it to bomb huge. So I actually and I wouldn't say I'm in disagreement with that, but it's something I've entertained as a possibility. I hope it doesn't happen because this movie deserves to fail. But all right, that's enough of me about this shitty movie.
I was gonna say, come check out my channel because I talk about that stuff weekdays at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time all the time. DC is my bread and butter, even though it doesn't get near as many views as my other things do. But I'm a DC fanboy, so I talk about that stuff all the time, man.
Only one quick thing about what you say, that this may be something like Barbie. And I think you may be right for another reason. Barbie, yeah, it was a hit with women and everything. But the most important character, the character that people like the most, the character that people think is the actual hero of the story is Ken.
Yeah.
And here I have
it would be Lobo. It would be Lobo.
Exactly.
That's why that's a thing. Yeah. I'm glad you mentioned because actually was mean to mention it. I totally forgot. So see, Paul, you see where I'm coming from. As much as I hate and many about this trashy looking, I'm worried that this might actually be a success because of that. We're gonna get the wrong idea about Lobo. We're get the wrong idea about Supergirl, all because of this one fucking movie. I hope I'm wrong. Trust me. I want to be wrong, but I'm worried. Anyways.
Oh, you should be.
Well, Subhuman 84. That Rook Exodus book is insane. It is that last issue with the spiders. Lots of spiders. Holy shit. And I love Comfort and Joy. Love it. And what's up, Stephen M. Kellel? Long time no see. Nice to see you here. Actually, you're here last week and the week before. What's up, Ben Dowdy? How you doing? Thanks for being here as well. I love that you guys are all here. Guys, we're going to talk ASM number 90. So before we get into this issue, I want to say, for the last few weeks, since we kind of decided we're going to talk about ASM on a weekly basis, which I think has been really fun, really cool, a change of how we've done things. And, throughout time, we've kind of adjusted how we would do the format, whether it was the 4 issues, 2 weekly issues, and then the way we would talk about the 4 issues to the way we would talk about them now, not just in terms of like the amount of issues, but the way we talk about it just more. Sometimes it can be a bit overview. Sometimes it can be deep dive on a few select panels. We've adjusted accordingly, but this issue is important because for the last few weeks, well, we have been, let's just say for the most part, entertained. We've had some minor gripes. They've not been anything like earth-shattering or polarizing, but it's more of like okay, we kind of need something to move forward now. All right, now if we're going to move forward, now is the time. And damn it, this time, that time, your time is now for this issue. ASM number 90. We get something big. It's a damn doozy. I mean, guys,
that's an understatement.
This may be what
it's funny because
right
before it happened, about let's say 2 or 3 pages, it started clicking my mind. Hold up, is what I think gonna happen? I think it was setting me up to think that too. Like about 2 or 3 pages, I'm like, oh fuck, this is it, isn't it? And then
this is happened. A canon event.
So
this is the canon event.
This is a big deal issue. It's a big deal, quite a huge deal. But let me dig for it. I had it and then it was gone. So we will put this comic on screen and we're going to talk about ASM number 90. If he could just stop being retarded and bipolar. All right, I got you. All right, dudes,
knock it off right now.
Are you ready to talk about ASM number 90?
Hell yeah.
Okay. Chat. Are you ready? Yeah. ASM number 90. Going into this cover, I thought to myself, okay, this has got to be about just some Joe Schmo. But then as you get closer to the end, you start to see the dominoes start to show themselves. You realize, oh, this isn't just a Joe Schmo. There's a reason why there's a blackout silhouette of this character. When you think, oh, it's just some Joe Schmo, then you realize, oh, hold up. But I want to say, going into this issue, Gil Kane's art, fucking awesome. This dude, I mean, now that we're 2 issues now with this guy, And I love how just even though obviously Romita Sr.'s got that more Archie style, Ditko's got the more zanier, almost kind of creepier style, while still being kind of kid friendly. And then you got Gil Kane. He is just so much more about the dynamics. He just has he's a bit more extra detailed, which is fine. I think that's great for depending on the story. Not every story needs to have extremely like amount of it. This feels like it's added detail, but it works. And this issue is another big one with fight, go, go, go. Added tension. You get a small moment where it kind of cools down. It's like, oh, let's pump the brakes here. And then it runs right back up because if you realize, oh, this isn't just a small moment for a reason. This small moment matters later on in the issue. And then just the engine revs right back up and it's fight, tension, action, Spider-Man Doc Ock monologues, mono-e model. This is intense. It's fast. It's fun. And then things start to get a bit, oh no, Spidey's got this. Oh, wait. No, he doesn't. And it's worse than freaking ever. I am paraphrasing on this on purpose so you guys can have more of the details on this one. And then tragedy strikes and I'm like, fuck. I've been good about not swearing as much for like the last year and a half, but fuck, it all happened in this issue. And then I realized this is what we were being set up for. It was not just what the character reveal of what we saw on the cover, but what we learned was, or what we possibly was there all along. And it's a double punch. And you're like, fuck. And then boom, end the issue. And I'm thinking to myself, absolute peak Tom and Jerry level of greatness cinema. Bravo. Send Stan, send Gil, send John, send Sam, send them all send Marvel Comics their flowers for this issue. Hot damn of an endorsement. Probably one of my favorite issues of this entire run thus far. As tragic as it was, and I felt the emotions of this issue from every page. And because I was so excited, I ended up reading it a little unintentionally faster, which I'm a pretty slow reader. So for me to read faster, that takes a lot. So I would say this is an issue of the highest recommend, in my opinion. Where are you at, Ironcaster, on the Amazing Spider-Man number 90?
What an issue. Yeah. This is, without a doubt, one of the all-time great issues of Spider-Man because this is all the happenings, all the things that encompass Spider-Man. We of course have him having to be creative, being experimental. We have him fighting one of his great villains. We have the death of a figure in his life who whose loss will have ramifications for decades to come. It is without a doubt one of the best issues to be held up there. This is one of those key essential issues that anyone needs to read. I mean, plus
agreed.
We've got leftover little elements of him kind of. We've got the continuity of everything going backwards. Like, oh, he was the last time the captain saw me, I was sick, so I better act sick, and this is kind of work to my benefit. Oh, we've got to make sure we're building up to. Well, we've got the continuity of he doesn't want to. He's too busy doing Spider-Man stuff to go do any of the protests, so he's got that out, which is a completely justifiable one. We have, of course, Spidey using his science and creating something that I'm surprised, really, to my knowledge anyway, hasn't really come up against too much since. Like, Spidey creates a fluid that can disrupt.
The web fluid. Yeah.
Well, sorry, I gotta adjust my settings here because every time I'm speaking, it's like everything else mutes, so I can't hear people talk.
You sound great, by the way. You sound great, but keep going.
But But no, it's fantastic for so many reasons.
Agreed.
It's a hard recommend, a strong recommend. There's not too much there's not too much I don't want to talk about with it or really give too much away. Like, this is one I feel like everyone should go read because this is fantastic art. The storytelling's good. We've got, of course, Spidey that's next issue.
Yeah,
we've got just one of those iconic battles: Spider-Man fighting Doc Ock. What's not to love?
That's why
it's
I stopped
an issue
reading
where you want to say.
Thing.
I was trying when I was saying my piece, Caster. I was trying to say as much as I can without saying anything. That was done intentionally. I feel like I did a pretty decent job of saying things without saying things, and that was done intentionally because it's just one of those issues. You gotta have it. You gotta read it. And D-Bud said in the comments, "What highlight? Think how I felt when I read this back in 1970." Dude, man, I can only imagine what that had to have been like just to have seen this all unfold. This is 20 pages of powerful storytelling. Everything that was accomplished in these 20 pages. Wow. This would have been a 5-issue story arc in today's world. This would have been 5 movies to have gotten all this. We got all this in 20 pages of one floppy monthly periodical comic book. Man, this is just it's one of those issues. It really is one of those issues. You get the action, you get some of the drama, you get a touch of the romance, just to let you know it's still there. And then you get the heartbreak, and not the heartbreak that you think is more. I guess it's more so of it's a tragedy, a genuine tragedy, but there is a heartbreak to it because there is a relationship there of people who really appreciate each other. So I guess you could say there was there in that sense. But looks like Caster said his piece. Oh, so he was speaking. Okay.
There we go. I think I got my problem solved. That's weird ducking button on the panel.
Okay.
Anyway, that last page there where he's got Captain Stacy in his arms, and it's the bittersweet moment there. The last moments. The things that will haunt Peter for the rest of his life. What could have been?
Yeah. Hot damn. Yeah. All right. I feel like that's as Stan said. That was enough said. It sounded like that was enough said. Yeah. Okay. All right, Common Nerd. I'm not going to go beyond this page. I'm just gonna let you have at it.
Nah, you're good. No, I love this issue. This is one of those ones where I did read ahead and then I went back and read it again tonight. There's a lot of things I love about this issue. One of the big things I love about this issue is you actually get to see Peter put his genius on display, right? Because there's a lot of examples in other forms of media out there where you don't get to see Peter be the genius that he is. And that shit irritates me to no fucking end. That shit drives me absolutely nuts because I grew up with the Amazing Spider-Man cartoon, right? Peter's doing all kinds of stuff. Or like a Spider-Man and his amazing friends. Right, they got a lab, like their whole little room like flips around and they got all these little bells and switches and things that they can mess with and shit. So my Peter was always the genius, Peter Parker. And so I love getting to see that on display in this. And you get to see him mixing up a chemical. You get to see trying to figure out something to try to help him with Doc Ock and get Doc Ock all screwed up and messed with. And like Ironcaster said, that's funny too, because this is something you never see come up again, this formula that he pulled out of this one. It's like everybody seemed to forget about this for some reason. Yeah. Go ahead, Ironcaster.
It's something that could become useful for many fights to follow.
Oh, it's like it's a side of it's a side of the character we don't get to see often because many people might not remember it, but for a time there, Peter was considered one of the smartest characters around in the Marvel universe.
There's another webbing he used later on that was a really great one, and he was putting a smart season. It was called impact webbing. And it would be nice to see a lot of those types of webbings revisited because you can like have even a good reason to why you only use in Sprague. Like maybe like it takes more resources, costs more money to make and time. So he's got to use it spread. He's got to be conservative about how he uses it. or say, oh, this doesn't fit for that type of fight. You could. That's the thing. It's not like you have to use these all the time. You can easily use them at the right occasion. So it would be nice to see these types of things come into play again, because throughout these decades, we were getting people who are, finding clever ways to expand his arsenal without straying too far from the formula of what gives Spider-Man his powers.
I want you to remember, guys, first 10 issues of Spider-Man. He developed a web to fight the Vulture. He developed a web to fight the Sandman. When Electro appeared, he developed a web to fight Electro. He was always developing new webbing, developing new formulas, new uses. He had a parachute. He had a sword. He has used bolas all the time. There's a lot of different ways that he can use his webbing for any kind of fight. But in the last, I will say 40 issues, maybe, we lost a lot of Spider-Man working on his gadgets, working on the webbing. He already had everything, and they were just using it. Now we go back to that. And in an issue that is this important, having that moment of Spider-Man as he used to be, that's why it's so important that it's here.
Vince,
I know. I already told him. I already told him that was fucked in the chat, dude. I already told him that was fucked.
Vince, too soon.
It's like
too soon.
Like at least like 100 or like 30 issues, or 30 issues too soon. 30 issues too soon.
Oh, 31.
But come back in September. We'll have that talk, okay? Wake me up when September ends.
God. All right, continue on, Common Nerd.
So like that's one of the things I love to see, because that's something that always seems to be left on the back burner so much for him. And so I absolutely love that. I love getting to see that on display. And then also at the exact same time, you have him have an absolutely stupid moment as well, where all of a sudden, like, he literally just falls into like the most, like, really? Like, you didn't expect that to be a trap? Did you really think you were just gonna be able to waltz in there and surprise him? Really? Like, and I'm just like, man, you a bonehead. And then we get really cheesy lines from Doc Ock afterwards too, and I'm just like, wow, this makes you look like even more of a bonehead, Peter, because these lines are really cheesy and stupid too, on top of it, coming from Doc Ock. But like it's so like you get the both of those dynamics at the exact same time. And then obviously there's always some fun stuff with Gwen Stacy in here as well. That relationship's always fun to see those conversations, because Peter has himself a little tumble. He's out of whack again. He's sick. And oh, dear sweet Gwenny, she's right there to look after him. So praise be to the Lord for that. But yeah, which makes the end even fucking worse. But yeah, so like the fight's great. The fight's awesome. You get Peter getting to show off his absolute genius that I think is forgotten so often, so many times, that he is a next level genius on his own, created in his own major corporation, was on par with Osborn as far as the size of all of that kind of stuff and everything else. So it's like, yeah, I love seeing that. I love getting to see all of that, and epic fight sequence, and holy cow, talk about if somebody had to go out like a boss, going out like a boss. Like you if you had to go, this is how you want to go, man. You know what I mean? Like, the old man upstairs is gonna greet you with open arms for going out like that. You know what I mean? So awesome stuff, solid from beginning to end, all the way through. Gets you, leaves you on a cliffhanger in the last one, and this one it kicks you square in the balls so hard that they end up in your throat. And any grown man, will go into the bathroom quietly after they're done reading this issue, turn off all the lights, make sure nobody can hear you, and just that one little one, and move on. Because yeah, this one's good. This one's really, really good. Yeah, holy cow. Yeah. And I love his excuse. I love it too. This is the other thing I was going to bring up, because I read through this part too. And it's not anything for the over major arc and story part, but I'm like, Stan Lee, you son of a bitch, you took the money. Because there's a line in here from Peter. It's part of his excuse to be getting out of the not going to the air pollution protest. He's like, your every average Joe can do their part for air pollution, but I'm the only one that can take on Doc Ock. And I'm like,
I like that.
That's some after school special bullshit. Damn you, Stanley. You took the money from the Green Party. You bastard. You did it. But yeah, I thought that was funny as I'll get out. Oh, and my other favorite part too is at the end, there was some stuff you talked about in an issue a while back, as to whether or not somebody knew about Peter's stuff. And I was like, he could know. And like, he could just, because he knows Peter's a solid dude. Right. And then all I could think about,
guy.
Yeah, well, all I could, Nick, when I read that part, all I could think about was you. Yeah. So yeah, I love this one. I love it from beginning to end. It's an absolute blast of a ride, and I had to read like 3 pages forward in the next issue because I couldn't help myself a little bit. But that's as far as I went because I don't want to screw it up again. Yeah. This one's great. This one is great. It's really good. I highly recommend everybody go read this. It's good stuff.
Agreed. Yeah. And before I pass the baton on to Pablo, I liked how even when we got Spider-Man smarts, you also, if you were somehow not remembering how smart Doc Ock was, he may look like an idiot who has tentacles. He catches on the patterns too, and he's very observant of his surroundings. And those surroundings, when Peter thinks he has a drop on him, no, Otto has a drop on him.
Well, and very on top of that,
smart
too,
bait. Very smart bait.
Very much. And on top of that, though, too, trust me, if you somehow forget how smart Doc Ock is, give him a couple of panels. He will remind you. Don't you worry about that one bit. He will remind you. There was something else I was going to say too, but now I forgot. But yeah, he does. I am your match, Peter. All the time.
And that's what makes him such a great
cartoon villain.
It's so quick and easy to kind of overlook Doc Ock in a lot of ways where when you compare him to a lot of the heroes where he's this kind of dumpy, out of shape guy. But it can lead you to forgetting about just how smart and dangerous he actually is.
I know why he never used this webbing formula ever again.
Probably
because it's too uncontrollable. And look what happened. That's why he never uses this webbing formula ever again. Because it was too out of control. It made the whole situation too unstable. No one could handle it, even the bad guy.
It was not tested.
Look what happened.
He needed proper testing. He should. We'll cross that bridge. Pablo, sir, you're ready for this issue. It's time to start cooking.
Okay, last issue, we kinda avoid a lot talking of one of the relationships that was presented. Normally it's because it's absolutely non-important to the story. This time it was because it will spoil a lot. So yeah, a lot of last issue that was not fighting was Peter Parker having this conversation with Gwen Stacy dad, and it feels like he knows more than you will normally think he knows, especially because he was supposed to fall from the fake Spider-Man plot that we had 3 issues ago. And so that was supposed to be done and everything, but I have always been saying when Captain Stacy talks about the Spider-Man with Peter, it's like he knows something else. And that has been part of the story for a long while. It was intentional. It was completely intentional. At one point, Captain Stacy was supposed to reveal to Peter that he knew his secret identity. But after Peter trying to find somebody to talk about his superhero persona, all his flaws, all his pains, because being a hero is really complicated for him. He is dealing with everything else, and he needs somebody that he can trust. And he thinks that maybe talking with Gwen will solve the situation because he will have somebody that he can trust. while that person was there all the time. Captain Stacy was just waiting for Peter to tell him the truth so he can guide him in a better way. Peter was just too scared to do that. And last issue is quite poignant about that. And this issue is even more because both Gwen Stacy and Captain Stacy help Peter while he is beaten by Doc Ock. He's actually really hurt by Doc Ock. And that's, you have seen some supervillains that can really pummel on Spider Man. But this one is different because he's fighting with all his strength against the tentacles, but he's still holding his punches against the man because the man is just a normal man. He can be squished really easy, so it's a difficult fight. And the only way that Peter finds is trying to hijack the tentacles because he recognizes that the man is weak. But not going there yet. It's just the dynamic with Captain Stacy. It's everything that you are seeing with Captain Stacy, and there's a glimpse of hope for Peter. And because of everything that he holds important, he decides to go into this fight and end things for good. And he kinda does. His webbing works. His plan works. It's a long fight. It's an incredible hard fight, but he is winning. And his victory is the reason why Captain Stacy faces the fate that he faces. So it's bigger than just thinking about that is Peter's responsibility. It's also what's taken away from Peter. This issue marks something that was brewing for a long time. Peter finding somebody to trust and losing that person that very second. And is absolutely final for how the character will act, and even the mistakes that he will take that will basically go into the death of Gwen Stacy, because Peter becomes overly protective. Peter becomes overly manic about a lot of stuff because he just have killed a man in, not intentionally, mind you, but he knows that that death is on him. No matter what the people are saying, but the people, when he's carrying Captain Stacy to the roof because he wants to take him to a doctor, the people are blabbering about how he killed him, and that's not really important. What people are talking about is not the real issue. Peter tracked the whole fight all the time. He was in control all the time. Even though, yeah, he got too cocky about his tracker, and he thought, well, with his tracker, he can trap Doc Ock really easy. No, Doc Ock is as intelligent as him, so he finds the tracker and he sets a trap. But even though Spider-Man was always in control during the fight, if you follow the panels, Spider-Man was always in the upper hand. So everything that happens is under his control. This death is really on him, and is incredibly hard. He's not the only character that dies on Spider-Man. We start Spider-Man with with Uncle Ben's death. We had Ned Lee died. We had a lot of different characters die in Spider-Man, but this one is really different because this changes Peter. This doesn't only changes how Spider-Man works. This changes Peter forever.
It's a very great way of adding a new spin to when Spider-Man wins, he loses. At this point in time, up to this point in time, it's a great way of adding to that, because that sums up a lot of these issues. It's like, okay, how can we still keep that message going while still moving forward, but not still feel like we've not no, we're still like dragging. This really does push things forward, and you see his win and his loss simultaneously happen. So it is tricky to figure out that balance, but this issue really does push everything forward while still maintaining the Spider-Man wins and loses mantra.
Yeah, when's the harder that you fall when you are on top, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this fight shows Spider-Man on top. This fight shows Spider-Man becoming greater. This is a step ahead for the character. And that's when he falls. That's when you feel everything crumbling down because he's no longer addressed to Spider-Man. If you see the whole conversation with Captain Stacy on the rooftop, is no longer about the Spider-Man. It's only about Peter. So this was a transformation for a character that was stagnated while Spider-Man was flourishing. We have been complaining for a long time that Spider-Man was that Peter Parker was stagnated, that everything was drama and chit chat. And this shows you when it's not what happens. Mm-hmm. So yeah, this for me, this one is maybe top 5 most important issues of a Spider-Man of all time.
Mm-hmm. It's an incredible issue. It's incredibly paced, very well told. The words are all perfect. The flow of the action, the moment of like cooling down, bringing it to action, and then tragedy striking. It really is perfectly flowed. This is one of those highest recommend issues. It's definitely one of those things where it's like, wow, how can you not like have this in the collection type of thing? It's absolutely essential. It really is essential.
Think about this. There's these panels where Spider-Man is carrying Captain Stacy to the rooftop, and he just says, "No one, Peter, except you," and he thinks, "Peter, he called me Peter," and that's the realization. He's wearing the mask. You are seeing everything with Spider-Man wearing his mask, but everything is about Peter, and Captain Stacy is only guiding him on be good with her, be a good man. That's basically the same message that Uncle Ben had when he died. Be a good man. He's trying to be a good hero. Now it's time to be a good man.
Now he's seeing also, Pablo, I'm glad you mentioned it. Now, he's held this secret in for too long that only up to this point one character ever officially found out, and they didn't get undone, but let's just say was definitely not mind white. Obviously referring to the Green Goblin much, much earlier in the run. He's the only character who ever found out. Now he's seeing what happens when he could have just tried to go back to one guy, which we get why he wouldn't just tell anyone. But if he had gone to him maybe and told him, maybe he would have not showed up there. Maybe he would have won a different route. He could have, he could have been an assist to him in some other way. Maybe seeing people from afar telling them to get back. Who knows? Everything could have changed because if he had just told the one person who he was, but he didn't want to, because we all can understand why he didn't, because you tell one person they could ruin everything. It really could. But at the same time, this was the flip side too of not. So it really is a damned if you do, damned if you don't moment. Once again, another mantra that really encapsulates Spider-Man very well.
And something that David brings in the chat is that Joe Robertson has always known, and I think Robbie knows. There's a couple of characters that know, but most of them are either indifferent to that or they see a greater good on play and they don't intervene, right? Robbie is in that category. He sees the greater good. He sees the joke, even with J. Jonah Jameson being an asshole to a Spider-Man, while paying the guy that is a Spider-Man for photos of a Spider-Man. So he is, in a way, being the only benefactor that Spider-Man has. Everything is founded through the Daily Bugle. Everything that Spider-Man does is J. Jonah Jameson's money. And that's part of the joke. And I think Robbie is into that. But no, Captain Stacy is different. Captain Stacy is more connected to Spider-Man in a human way, right?
He could have a conversation with Captain Stacy that he couldn't with Robbie Robertson.
Yeah,
there's a different level of a communication he could have, and it does make that much of a difference, especially when like George actually really likes Peter, and for a father to like a guy who likes his daughter, that's a strong endorsement. It's a strong endorsement for him to be that sincere, that genuine, and that fond of Peter, and him going out of his way to express that to Peter. This guy again, win me over sometime between now and never. I like this guy. This is the type of guy I want to see my daughter with.
Yeah.
Well, and it's one of them situations too, is there's kind of a bit of a brothers in arms kind of understanding too, because especially with knowing what he knows, like he also understands that Peter's out there putting his life on the line. You know what I mean? So it's one of them situations when you have something like that, it's like, well, that also like that amplifies up that respect, because it's like a cop talking to another cop, essentially. You know, it's like a soldier talking to another soldier. You guys both understand the risks that you're putting yourselves in the line of, and you're just out there trying to help people. You're just out there trying to save people's lives. So there's definitely I'm sure there was a lot of extra respect on top, behind the scenes of that relationship too, with all of that. So.
I remember watching the animated series in the 90s and thinking to myself, it feels like Robbie Robertson knows. It feels like he knows, even though there's nothing directly implying it. It felt like there was like this weird, like subconscious thing to it. Like, I think Robbie knows. It just is not being said, indirectly acknowledged, directly acknowledged, overlying, underlying, whatever the term you want to use. You all catch my drift. And it just, something about it felt like, I think he knows. Especially like there would be some episodes you would see there would be a moment of like real deep conversation, whether it was with Spidey-Man and Robbie Robertson, when it was the feud with Tombstone, or the moments where Robbie caught Peter on a down day from the job or his personal life. I feel like he's obviously a really sharp guy, always a really sharp guy. Obviously, he's one of the big defenders of Spider-Man at the Beagle, always like Peter. He's like George, a sharp man who recognizes patterns. He had to have known, just like George did. Had to have known. Either way, it's a fun thing to speculate about. It's something we'll probably do until the end of time. And guys, once again, The Amazing Spider-Man number 90. Essential reading of the highest order, and that's seriously, it's not even up for dispute. I should be at the part where I should say that's not my opinion. It's kind of a fact, even though it actually is opinion.
Dude.
But once again, you get where I'm going. We just can't say enough great things about this issue.
And there's something that you guys said about this almost professional respect of a cop with a superhero, and that plays a lot later, a lot of years later, when they bring this character Raid. At the beginning is Yuri Watanabe, that, by the way, on the PS4 game worked perfectly, because she is the cop that knows Spider-Man and works with Spider-Man, and that dynamic will be part of Spider-Man. From this point on, Spider-Man will trust cops a bit more, and will work with cops, and actually works really well with Yuri Watanabe, because it's a good dynamic where they are actually fighting for something together. and instead of killing her, they turn her into a villain, into Raid. So yeah, this also sets a good point for different dynamics with Spider-Man that you cannot have right now before this, because well, Spider-Man doesn't really work with cops.
Yeah. Well, dudes, fantastic conversation. Corey, we had just so much we wanted to say. We were just ready to let that one out. So, and I'm glad we did. Fantastic Four, number 579, start of a new arc. And with a new arc comes another fill-in artist. Ironcaster, I'm going to let you go first on this one.
Right. Well, this was an issue that felt like it was starting to set things back up. Of course, this is also coming at a time in the comics in which, as you saw at the top, the big sort of event thing was the heroic age. This was coming essentially on the tail end of the Dark Reign story, where Norman Osborn had wound up taking over Shield and made Hammer. All of that has now come to pass. That's all gone. The X-Men have been able to get themselves sort of reestablished. We've got a school getting set back up for them. There's a lot of stuff going on in the wider world, and this was right among there in a way that fit pretty well. We have, of course, starting out, Reed Richards is going to one of these big think tanks for all the super intelligent, and he's basically come to admonish them in a lot of ways for how they've, in a lot of ways, they've contracted. They're not thinking to the future with any sort of bright, ambitious thought. It's a lot of fear. It's a lot of defensiveness and recoil from everything. He's says, you guys, this isn't what I imagined it was going to be. And aside from having Jennifer Walters here to talk about to make a quick appearance, ultimately he's leaving this so he can go do something bigger and better. Yeah, I mean, which feels very much like a TED talk, which was very apt at the time for what this was attempting to be. It's not the thing is it's ultimately not an issue that does a lot of action. I mean, we get a little bit, but barely. This is an issue that's all tied into the narrative, where we feel like we're actually building to something, but it doesn't feel like it's wasting your time. It feels like a promise that is being set up to say, look, you've enjoyed a lot of what we've had to come so far. There's been a lot of payoff we've been setting up, and we're going to keep going with this. I mean, my first thought when I was going through this at first, after this, was we saw Alex Powers of the Power Pack, and my first thought was, oh, is this just Johnny Storm? And I'm kind of reading through it and kind of realizing, then it does me. No, that's not Johnny. But it was a great moment there. Actually, this is a Reed centric issue, I thought.
Yeah, I do like that this run is really Reed heavy. I like how this run, it almost feels like this run is about Reed in a way.
And with that said, it takes Reed a lot of directions, because we have this where which does feel kind of sinister. I mean, especially with the way it's shadowed. It's like, look at him here. He looks like
looks like Yoan Grufford from the Fantastic Four movies directed by Tim Story. I almost feel like those were drawn that way on purpose to make him look like it from those two movies. Does it not look like Yoan Grufford?
I can see
that, especially in the middle panel. Especially in the middle panel, you can't tell me that. I'm like, I look at that face, I'm like, that looks like him in the two movies.
Reed has always worked as a sinister character, especially because how disconnected, how little attachment he has to humanity itself. He trusts in people. He doesn't care about humanity whatsoever in some points. That's even part of the plot of the Council of Reeds. sometimes Reed just goes all the way and he disattached from his reality and everything else. So when you have this lighting and everything, you are expecting something different, and the direction that they go is like, yeah, you guys are too funny for me. I'm out.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like I said, there's a lot of little things going on that I I like what was going on with the Moloids. We see that they're getting smarter. They're advancing.
Mm-hmm.
The only real downside I felt was just sort of those couple pages with the New World stuff. I'm like, I don't really care about this.
It could have gone down a few pages.
Yeah, it's set up. It's just set up.
Yeah, but it's there ultimately because it's like, yeah, we sort of set that up as one of the four cities, and we have to kind of bring these people back around. But I kind of don't care about these people.
I straight up don't. I straight up don't. It's not like it's horrific. It's just I don't care. I don't care about this. Everything else, cool. I like what's going on with the Maloids. I like where Sue's at Atlantis. Okay, cool. I like that we got this deeper read thing going on. I like that he's being pulled, which is fitting for his character. He's being pulled in all these different directions, considering he's a stretchy guy. The shoe fits, really, really fits in this case. I like that. I'm with you all on all that. You got any final thoughts?
Probably the last thing that really stood out to me was that sequence where Reed goes off to speak with the wizard, or as I couldn't help but see him, common nerd.
Nah, yep. That's good.
Yep.
Oh, that's good. Okay, before we pass the baton on to our other fellow gentlemen, Brad Young says, time for a smoke and drink. Who's with me? Well, I'm not drinking alcohol tonight, but I am having a delicious Rockstar. So here's to Brad Young, to Vince, to Joe Dog, to D-Bud, to all you fine gentlemen. Seriously, you guys are awesome in our chat. Deepo, I'm going up the comments. Jeremiah, Tim, Glinser, Stephen M. Kal-El, chat. Saturday night. I almost said Friday night. Caught myself. Let's enjoy the rest of this Saturday night. Thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting Clobby's Comic Shop for 71 issues of this show. Let's drink them, alcohol or non, if you got them.
Cheers.
Salud.
And then Brad Young contributes with a direct donation. And he said,
I saw you strip down for that hot tub.
His dick's not small.
You have the biggest dick I've ever seen on a man. Thanks.
I swear that's not what Brad Young said, and I just realized by timing of that. But Brad Young for $5 says, last one till after Christmas. Sorry, my birthday was yesterday. I'm staying 44. Oh, dude, you didn't have to even do today. But happy birthday, man! Happy belated birthday to you, sir. Thank you for doing it because you totally didn't have to. So yeah, just give yourself a little extra time. Don't worry about it until the next year in 2026. So I just appreciate you hanging out, man. So happy 44 to you, sir. You and I are not far from each other in age. So cheers to you, Brad Young. I appreciate it a lot. And I hope your Christmas and New Year go exquisitely. So cheers, sir. All right. And believe it or not, you even though I put it in my pinned thing on YouTube, it's gone. Oh no, it's got 4 minutes left. I put Wisconsin Dells funds just for fun on the YouTube super chat thing, but no, you sent a direct dono, so it's even better. So thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, Pablo, you ready to talk about Fantastic Four 579 and all that it inherits?
Oh hell yeah. Dude, I was not into this issue that much because of the art. We are back into having the kids look like absolute freaks.
It's definitely not great art at all. I wouldn't even call it good. It's very average at best. The colors saves it because at least it's a consistent look from the other books where it's a different penciler, but at least the same colors. Go on.
Let me share you this panel.
Please.
Look at Valeria.
Oh God, yeah. It
Oh.
reminds me of that Captain Marvel panel from 5 years ago that they showed off on FNT where Captain Marvel looked like a granny.
Look
It's
at this.
horrific.
Look at this teeth.
Oh,
Yeah.
This
This
was
leg
kind
is
of
broken. This leg is just absolutely broken.
it's such a shame because this should be a fun sequence because
yeah.
they're in a
idea here
dojo.
is really great. The idea of Franklin showing off and want to know, hey, I need to have a catchphrase type of thing. Like there's a fun idea going on here. That's the saddest part about this.
Yeah.
This is one of those times the story saves the damn art.
Well, actually, if you go back real quick, I love the little detail where it looks like Johnny's got the Kill Bill like yellow jumpsuit on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah, and he is eating Chinese food.
Does look like a handlebar mustache. Oh man.
Well, I mean, she is kind of sitting next to like a Chinese dragon gargoyle looking thing.
I
so.
mean,
Bing bong, wada wada bing bong.
Woo! Hot dog.
So yeah, I got plucked right out of the Matrix. Any consent whatsoever because of this art.
Well, it seems like they did a great job on the dragon gargoyle creature, but then they did a horrible job on everybody's face. Yeah, Dragomon.
Yeah, it's an old school character.
Same thing with the other fill-in penciler. The same other fill-in penciler had the same exact issues. Some of the like monsters, architecture is all right.
Yeah, do great stuff like that, but humans.
Faces. Oh, the kids'
I mean,
faces.
Johnny's face even looks a little. Johnny's face even looks a little weird. If we're gonna be honest.
Okay, I'll make this a real question without any intent of anything. I'm asking purely for the science. Don't you think that it's possible that Johnny will be that much of an asshole to make an oriental face while he is sitting with chopsticks wearing that suit?
Yes.
So I will give it a pass just for that. Maybe he's not poorly drawn. Maybe he's just an asshole.
He's just an asshole. No, I just, this is just, for me, it's poorly drawn, but I love the characterization. And Johnny shows you like his rare moments of when he does have a heart here, which I like. He's like, hey, don't worry about it, kid. Like, hey, your heart's in the right place. You'll get there eventually. I thought it was a great way of showing that, yeah, he's not a pun completely intended. He's not always a hothead all the time.
But otherwise, this is just set up. I actually thought they were going somewhere really different at the beginning with giving that speech. I almost thought that maybe this is one of the other universes. We are seeing a different read. Because I don't really have the context. Remember, I stopped. I stayed for the death of Captain America. I was reading a couple of things at this time, in and out, but I completely fell off Spider-Man. So after Civil War, I have not that many points of reference to know whatever is happening. So I'm just taking whatever is on page as something that happens on Isolation. And I didn't knew what the fuck was going on. I just didn't knew anything. And it didn't make any sense whatsoever for me. So I may be in another universe and I'm supposed to be lost because Reed here is something more maniacal. And then he's just like, nah, I'm out. And he is a free man. Okay, I don't get it. It's that easy. So you need to wow me with the writing. You need to wow me with the drawing. God damn, you won't. At this point, I'm just reading to know whatever is going on, because I know this is setting up and this is a bit of padding for whatever big event is going to happen. Okay, I read One Piece. I can agree with a stretchy man doing anything at all for a whole issue. Okay, okay. Nothing of this seems really important except with the panels that nobody
this
likes.
is the worst stuff of this whole New World, dude.
No, that's the thing.
I couldn't be any less interested.
Yeah, exactly.
I was just really confused. I had no idea what the hell was going on or who any of these people were. Like because I reread this issue tonight and I went through this and I'm like, okay, who are these people? Like, where's Stan Lee popping up going, hey, this is who New World is. You remember these guys from issue 9,526? Like, there's none of that. Like, I have no idea who the fuck these people are. We've been reading Fantastic Four.
Well, part of we've had issues in this one where we dealt with stuff.
Cassier cutting out.
Yeah, bad, buddy.
Oh, no, Cassier.
Transformer.
Brad Young says he has the same great parents. Dude, that's badass, man. I'll tell you that. That's what's badass. All right, Caster, fix yourself, and then I'll be happy to let you. We can hear you. Keep talking, because your screen's frozen, but we can hear you.
Let me turn the camera off for now, then.
Yeah, just go ahead and turn the camera off, man. We know you're here. As long as we can hear you, that's all that matters.
We've had entire.
You're still robot.
Run.
You're still robot.
No, robot and bad.
No, maybe you gotta pull out.
I'll be back.
Yeah, just slip out and slide back in. He'll be back. What's worse about this New World stuff is, okay, I get it. Jonathan Hickman's one of those writers where he likes to go into these big grand concepts. I know he does it. Grant Morrison does it. A lot of those, they're those type of writers. And there's times where it can be entertaining, and there's times where it could be to their detriment. And we're seeing one of the moments where it's definitely probably is the first time where I've actually had a writing complaint on Hickman's run. Because what I see here is some of the stuff he does in his later Marvel books, or I don't care about some of these concepts. And I don't know if it's just something he just has to get off his chest. But man, I cannot roll this New World. I feel nothing when I see this stuff. I don't care about it. I get you. You're grand in scale. You're big and verbose. You like these big, grand ideas, but
where are you going?
And it fits. And I mean, a lot of it fits Fantastic Four, but New World, I don't care. Go on, Common.
I'd love to know more. It's just like this is just so random and so jarring in the middle of this issue. Right. Like, I'd love to know more about what the hell's going on. I love the whole idea of like a little space bubble inside and they're doing things outside of time and stuff. I'm a Doctor Who fan, for the love of God. You know, I love the idea of stuff like this, but like, this just was like a page stuck in the middle of a Fantastic Four comic. You know, like that's what threw me off about this. Like, like I said, I need my Stan Lee bubble. Like, where is
this? Here is the interesting thing. This is the only relevant part for the whole continuity that you should actually pay attention in the whole book. Because it's explaining you what's going on New World. And that is part of the big event that is coming. So Sue talking on New Atlantis and everything. This time it was just call to action that the king is going for more. Good, great. I didn't need that. I didn't need any of Reed just quitting his other job. Good, good for you, buddy. Do you get severance? It will be cool. I don't get this issue at all because he's not trying to talk to me. He's trying to just exist.
These characters, when Reed is talking about this stuff, he's not talking to us. Like, I can roll with the Franklin stuff. I get it. I can roll with the Susan stuff. I get it. I can roll with when Reed is talking to the people at the hall and giving them crap for being a bunch of doom and gloomers. I can get that. I'm all good with that. Him being a teacher at the end, I get that. But with the whole New World stuff, it doesn't feel like he's talking to me. It feels like he's talking to characters in the book. And these books need to be speaking to us. It's like he's having a conversation with someone who already understands this versus someone who doesn't.
Reed doesn't strikes me that much as
stuff too. Warren Ellis, who's another good writer, he did a lot of stuff too, and I like a lot of what he did, but sometimes it would drive me crazy when he would do this type of stuff. Where I was just like, oh, okay, dude, if you want me to make this concept more interesting, I get you're trying to be bold, but you got to make this more accessible.
Just to answer to
Brad Young.
Brad Young.
Please.
Resident Evil 4, absolutely, you should. I completed it on GameCube, and I was literally just going through playthroughs all the time as something that I did with my existence. So I love that game. I have speedrun that game. Absolutely fantastic. The remake is great. That's what I was playing while I was recovering from my surgery, and it was absolutely worth it. Some things are different from the original. Resident Evil 5, you will have a character with a great ass. You will have a character punching a boulder. It's a wild ride. I will really recommend to get it on sale. It's like $5. You can run it on a potato at this point. So why the hell not? It's short. Resident Evil 6, not worth your time, not worth your money, not worth absolutely anything in this universe. Stay away from that. That's it.
All right, cool. Well, do you want to add anything else about this comic, Sir Pablo?
No, that's
it's a good
my
thing
problem.
Caster sounded off on this issue first before everything went to hell for him.
Yeah, dude, you had this whole conversation with the wizard. It goes nowhere. You have Reed being a school teacher and university professor. I can get that. That will be really interesting. Actually, it has happened before. A yoga instructor, plausible. A kids teacher. Yeah, no, fuck that. I'm out. I'm out.
Dude. No, see, I can get this concept here. It makes sense, and it is Reed putting on another hat as if he's not wearing enough hats. But this is a big one for him because now I'm thinking, okay, since Hickman was going on through these big, deep concepts, maybe with this we can learn with the class. We can be the students along with everyone else. That's what I'm getting out of this. Is hopefully we can learn with them. And what's up, student of God? Nice to see you, buddy. I'm hoping we can learn with him.
Why is Dragon Man going to school? One, he's a machine. Second, he's a genius.
Reed must have a deep plan. I can roll with that because if there's anything we've learned from Reed, he has a reason for why he does things. But I think Hickman better give us a reason for why Reed wants to teach a robot. Maybe he's a guinea pig. I don't know. All I know is we're gonna find out.
I think.
Go ahead, Common. Go ahead.
Right. Yeah. So I'm gonna go.
Sure.
So I think there might be a misunderstanding as to what the Future Foundation is supposed to be. As far as what it is established in this particular issue. Okay. Because the issue starts off with Reed. I love these opening scenes. Absolutely. Like my desk rose like a good 2.5 inches. Like because I love this opening scene because this is everything wrong with the world, right? Reed walks into this room, chastising all of these old men, all of these old thinkers that used to be these great geniuses, these people that were forward thinking. They were trying to figure out how to solve the problems of the world, right? He brings up examples that he throws back in their faces, and I absolutely love that because he throws up one guy. He's like, you're talking about how we should limit the population to only 5 billion people because of food resources instead of trying to figure out ways to increase crop yield. You know, it's not right, you know, and he berates this other guy about something similar too. Basically, you're a bunch of old men worried about your death and how to preserve your legacy instead of being worried about the future and what you're going to leave behind, right? And what's going to be for the next generation. And then he calls out Chico and goes, outside of her, everybody else in here is a fucking moron. Y'all are stupid. Y'all are a dying breed. Screw you. I'm out. And so that's what he does. That's why he brings in the kids, because this isn't a school. He's not teaching them. They're already geniuses all in their own right. The dumbest kid in the whole class scored a perfect on it as his SAT.
Oh God, that was
another
great.
scene. I absolutely love that scene. So I read that off to my wife while I was sitting there going over this, reading this to her, because that scene is so freaking good. Because the kid's like, Mr. Richards, I don't know why I'm here. You know, he's like, everybody else is yada, yada, yada. And he goes, you know, he uses the example of, you know, so if you sit Einstein and Hawking and like this other guy whose name I didn't recognize all at a table and go, I scored perfect on my SAT. Well, that still makes you the dumbest kid at the table. You know what I mean? You're still the retard comparatively. And
imagine
like,
that. In a room of geniuses, you're still the retard. What a way of words with that one.
Right. I mean, it's true. Trust me. And especially if you're a smart person, like, especially if you're around dumb people a lot of the time, that's actually kind of a nice feeling as long as you're not an egomaniac. And that's the difference between like people like Dr. Doom and people like Reed Richards, right? Because Dr. Doom's the egomaniac. He's the prideful psychopath. Whereas Reed, he's looking for the future. He's the bright, he's the hopeful, he's the optimist, right? They're the polar opposites, but they're both geniuses. Right. And so Reed's not teaching kids. Reed's wanting these kids to solve the problems of the world. He's wanting them to come up with ideas. This is about them coming. They're the new think tank. What all them old fogies that he chastised and ripped their assholes properly for at the beginning of the freaking issue, this is his solution. This is his answer. You kids are already all geniuses in your own right, because one of the other pages that they have in here with the little alien kids, when they're writing on the windows going, well, Reed asked us for help, right? He wants our help. He wants us to solve the problem. So this kid's like, I got to study this. And he figures it out so damn fast that he's like rewriting all the algorithms and shit on the damn window to make it all function better and like have the information flow better. So this isn't Reed trying to start a school where he's going to educate kids. These kids are already geniuses. He's going to use them to solve the problems of the future because the old men are too far stuck in the past. So I love this issue. Like the genius of it and like the idea, like, and I don't remember exactly when this issue came out, what year it came out, but holy cow, are you spot freaking on? Because like the arguments that Reed's throwing back in these guys' faces are the same arguments that we heard from all the college professors back in the 60s about population crises and why in the West right now we're facing like, oh my God, we're overpopulated. We're all going to die. Yeah, we're all going to starve to death. And now they beat that into the culture's brain so much that now we're looking at facing a population crisis. Our society is going to collapse because we're not having enough kids. Right. And so I love seeing Reed throw all of that stuff right back in their faces. And then he does something about it. Right. I'm abandoning what I created because you've all gone stale. You've all gone dead inside. So I'm going to go start something new with the next generation because they're still looking towards the future. He even says that you all are now looking towards the past. You're all trying to preserve something that is not forward thinking anymore. So he's going to go to a younger generation because all they've got to think about is the future, where all of those old men, all they had to think about was the past. And so, yeah, no, I love this issue. And yeah, the art mostly sucks. But Sue's boobs at least look good. So there's that.
This story carries this issue on its back like a freaking anchor. The story
100%.
really does. Even though I have some issues with New World, but as everything else with the story comment, I'm with you. I love almost everything else with the story. Outside of my lack of interest in New World and the exposition and the way if I agree with having a conversation with someone else who already knows this versus someone who's trying to learn about this, everything else I love. I love Franklin trying to come up with a catchphrase. I love that.
Oh, that was really cute. That was really
as they
cute.
stood the outside of the Baxter building, we saw Spider-Man web slinging. I thought that was cool. I like how we got to catch up briefly with Sue on what she's going on at Atlantis. I like how Franklin's being tested on his ability too. Now, granted, the art was a bit awkward in parts, but we get the idea of what they're trying to aim for here. So I get the execution, even if the visual style leaves a bit to be desired. Admittedly, thing looks okay, so I'll roll with that. I like
and
how
the little kid.
Reed,
And the little alien dude here, like he discovers his power in here too. He's like, "Ooh, we got to show this to Dad," because the kid can essentially give you a holographic display of what the inside of a machine, any machine he looks at, it just goes boom, and you get a display of all of its parts.
Yeah.
Such a cool.
That part got me excited too, because I was like, "Ooh, that like I would love to have something like that," because that's like that's the whole Iron Man thing where he just pulls all the pieces apart and goes, "Okay, where's the problem? There it is. Let's poke that." So
Reed is juggling a lot more, especially after dealing with his past associates and realizing that they are all doom and gloomers, and realizing he needs to set up for the future, which is funny because he has skin in the game now, but technically he has less of it in the future. Yet here he is being the most proactive one about it, setting up for the future success, even though he won't have little skin because we all have an expiration date. The fact that he's handling it and being so vigilant about it is really admirable and heroic to his credit. And of course, I like him trying to reach out to Wizard again. It's like, oh boy. And that was a deep conversation. I was like, oh man, this is heavy what's going on here with these two guys. So I was rolling with this conversation. I was definitely all in on it. Really enjoyed the conversation. And of course, God, I'm trying to think with my brain here. Go ahead and go down on it, Pablo, since you got this thing. Go downer, like downer.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah. Keep going. I'll tell you when to stop. I like the transition right from where he was at.
Oh yeah.
And then to being at the Baxter building. I actually had to do a double take. Hold up. What do you mean back at the Baxter building? That's the same face. No.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I like the clever transition. I was like, I had to do like a double look because I'm like, am I seeing something wrong here? But this issue packs a lot with Reed, letting you know that he's got a lot on his hands, and his goal is to do all of it, as much of it as it can. And I thought that was really, really cool that we're freaking going there. And I like how the line, the future of man is not out here, it is out there, was utilized too. The timing of that line was used brilliantly. And it makes me hopeful that Reed is fighting for a literal better future. I love that it's leaving us with a ending of optimism, considering that there was some heavy stuff being talked about in this issue. There's some really heavy stuff, and Reed refuses to be a doom and gloomer. So it was really cool to see that, and it tells me we're gonna have a bit of a roller coaster coming up with this issue. Now that all said, man, the faces on the kids, the thing's fine. It's fine. The architecture is fine, but so a lot of the kids' faces, oh boy.
Valeria in the front row there looks like she's 38.
Yeah. She looks like an old child. Like if Vern Troyer was like looked like Ric Flair or some shit. I'm like, bro.
You know what,
on, man? It looked like they took Dick Van Dyke's face and then put it on the face of a child body with a Franklin to the right. Because that looks like an adult smile on a kid body. I'm like, bro, you gotta make sure this shit matches, man. Come on. Once again, luckily the colors is the same colors the entire time, so there's some consistency here. But bro,
here,
come on.
I think maybe here is why I don't like this story. This, yeah, it goes from inside of the prison to inside of the Baxter building and the lighting and everything, but
it's changed.
Yeah, it's changed and everything. There's a huge contrast with the next scene, right?
Yes.
But it feels like a single thing, even though there's a transition and everything. There's still something connecting them.
There's a lot of connecting for being from one room to another.
No. You don't get me.
Okay, go on.
There's a lot of moments on the story that don't belong to the story whatsoever.
Yeah, New World.
New World, for example, it doesn't belong whatsoever. All this explanation, the way that this structure, everything, this, yes, it has a meaning, but it loses the meaning when you go to this. Instead, if you had a few panels of rediscovering that these kids can do this, or even move this to the very end, make it more cohesive, it will flow better, and I will have enjoyed the story a bit more.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I got so disconnected that I didn't care at the end.
Okay, I can understand that, and that's valid. I can understand why you feel that way. For me, this was a big meandering point that I feel like got saved by the end. I feel like, oh boy, we're starting to really meander, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, okay, we're getting to the finish line. We're making it. We stumbled a little bit. We're getting a little wobbly there. We're getting noodly with our legs, as they mentioned the issue quite literally. But then we made to the finish line. So we got to the finish line, but there was definitely a bit of a struggle, and the struggle was from New World to a lot of the visual design of this issue. So I was okay with the end because it rebounded for me. But I can see why someone could be taken out of it with that middle and just not care at that point. I could see why, because some people, they, in order for them to have a good destination, they want to also have a good journey. For me, I can forgive a good journey if the destination redeems it. And for me, this destination redeemed it. But I know for some, it just doesn't hit. And that's fair, man.
I will
That's
need to
valid,
see.
Pablo.
Yeah, I will need to see if next issue makes me come back to the story. Because yeah, it's not about story, but I just get disconnected a lot. And by the way, this is 2008, right? There was this whole attitude of let's get the younger generation into things and let's let them solve some of the issues. They talk on social networks and they seem like they understand things. And how you think we got woke? How you think all these CEOs that are in their 20s have fucked up the economy?
There's
Dude, you're gonna open up a can of worms on a conversation we will not have the time for that I don't disagree on. I don't disagree, by the way. I'm with you. I mean, we're practically preaching to the choir on that, but oh boy, that's a can of worms that, oh man.
Let's follow whatever Greta Thunberg says. That's a good idea. She seems like a reasonable person.
They wanted you to follow her based on emotional blackmail and nothing more.
That's all that was. Yeah.
That's all that it was. I'm so glad that she got thrown by the wayside and didn't age well, because at the time, a lot of people fell for it. And I'm not talking about the obvious usual suspects, even people more to the center or the right were like, oh, well, this girl. I was just like, bro, stop. You're buying this girl's crap. This is probably all scripted. And it turns out everything she was saying was scripted. Imagine my shock. Imagine my fucking shock.
That her parents were both total and utter activists.
Yeah, good. Fuck. All right. Anyways, I'm not gonna go on about that because we're a comic book show.
We're having a get a little too grumpy there. You look hungry. Here, you should have some pizza.
I'm getting big in you really quickly. That looks
wiggle
nice
it in his face. Look at all that pepperoni.
He's showing me he has wiggle room. He's showing me he has wiggle room.
He's wiggling his meat in your mouth, in your face. He's wiggling his meat in your face.
Rub it in. I mean, don't. Please don't. Awful choice of words. Awful choice of words. Oh man, I should have not. I should have not. You're. Dude, that drove me crazy. But like I said, luckily the world eventually tends to realign with these things, and it did with that particular moment. So it sucked. but it is what it is. We're past it.
Is
God, man, it's weird to think next week we got Fantastic Four number 580 and Amazing Spider-Man number 91.
so
Oh man, it's wild.
That's gonna be
wild.
Dude, 91's gonna have to be an insane issue, dude. Like it's gonna have to be nuts because holy cow, him dealing with that because there's gonna be a funeral, there's gonna be like him walking around all the time with her because he's gonna have to be there to comfort her and everything else. And it's like, and the entire time, and you know how Peter is, it's always everything's his fault. It's always guilt trip, right? If Aunt May's something happened with her, it's his fault. I'm broke. It's like it's always his fault too. So he's gonna be beating himself up left and right over this, man. It's gonna be a mess. I'm waiting for the explosion to happen in Fantastic Four is kind of my only thing with Fantastic Four. I'm kind of waiting for the explosion to happen. Like, let's get. I'm like, we got a lot of build up here.
Yeah,
let's get to this.
You better make it pay off.
Just the
payoff better be good, man. We're taking a while here.
Next week we've got a double feature of Arcade and the Impossible Man showing up in the FF.
Ooh, good. I look forward to that.
That'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to next week. No, next week will be good, and next week we'll have some fun, and we'll make sure to chat. We'll also go into some general. I'll also be reading Claws. I remember I got that gifted from Jason Sandberg a few years ago. I'm gonna finally read it, so maybe I'll get my big hardcover and I'll show off some of the great Dan Mora art from it next week. So we'll talk some Christmassy stuff for Comics 2 next week as well. So we'll make sure that we cover that within the full 2 hours. But gents, as I mentioned you in our privates, I do gotta get going a bit earlier, and I know it's gonna take us a few minutes to plug our plugs on the way out. So this is me getting ahead of that while we're here. Chat, we will be here next week, and I promise we'll be here for our full 2 hours. If we're lucky, maybe we'll go 2.5. We'll see. Can't make promises, but we'll see. Maybe I might actually be able to pull off a large. I mean, we might have to lose Casper, but the fact that we can do it because I don't work next Sunday, maybe we'll do it just because of that. I'm trying to think what's coming on my channel. Oh, this show next week and Toxic Tuesday talking Deadpool and Wolverine. So that's what we'll be doing. So I'll figure out other stuff as we get there. Pablo, what you got coming out your way?
Not much really. To be honest, I'm kinda just trying to do something else. My life is going in an interesting direction because seemingly everything that I have done up to now is good for education. And I mean, I may be able to get it will be a third degree, college title. I'm smart like that. That's why I deserve the college title. God damn it, my brain.
He deserves that degree. He's showing off his smarts right now.
Exactly. What do I'm so Italian? Whatever. But yeah,
love you, Bob.
Dude, I don't know. I'm just trying that. I found out that there's a law in my country that if you have worked long enough in something, you can actually go to a college and say, "Hey, I deserve to be a professional," and they go like, "Here you go, fuck yourself." I'm trying to get to that point. Let's see. So yeah, I'm focused on real life now. So I have been just doing that. It sucks. Okay. I will be playing video games, reading things, and enjoying life soon enough. Until then, I'm just a regular guy.
All right. Well, I appreciate regular guy Pablo still taking the time to be on Clobby's comic shop. Okay. I still appreciate that. So thanks for being here. It's been fun talking to these issues with you, man. I'll be seeing you soon. As we always will. Common Nerd, plug your plug on the way out.
Mrs. Common Nerd and I will probably be playing some video games later tonight, probably within here in a couple hours or something. So go check out the Common Nerds over on YouTube. Follow us over on Rumble, the Green Machine, especially with all the crazy, insane things that have been going on over there. If you haven't over on YouTube lately, if you haven't already, make sure you go follow Nick and everybody else over there on Rumble. Because yeah, I guess you guys have seen there's been a lot of psycho shit been going over. It's like every other day we hear about another something else going stupid over there with the platform. So please go follow us on all the alternatives out there. Tomorrow, Bible study Sundays 2 p.m. and Sunday night we back at Classic Who. We've got some Aztecs weekdays 11 a.m. for the morning prep. And then Monday night, late night gaming again. And then Wednesday, I'm going to be on somebody else's channel for a stream at the afternoon. I don't know. Follow me on Twitter. I'll let you guys know where that's going to be at. Thursday night, we carry on with our wonderful review of Firefly. We're having a great time with that one. We did Shindig last week, and that is such a fun episode. It is such an absolute wonderful episode. And then, of course, $5 Fridays. You guys can come keep me in the chair as long as you want. I think we went till 4:50 p.m. on this last Friday. So we'll see how long we go next week, but that's always a fun time as well. So yeah, and then obviously we'll be back here next Saturday because I can't wait for more ASM and Fantastic Four. This has been a lot of fun, so I appreciate it, boys. We'll have fun.
I'm so glad you're back to Cardinal.
Say it again, Pablo.
I'm glad that Jesse's back to Cardinal. Old school Doctor Who is the best.
Oh yeah, dude. Joe Pablo, what are you doing on Sunday nights? We need guests because we got series. I'll reach out to you on Twitter. Because the cool part is Doctor Who. Well, the cool part is we can have special guests because Classic Who is broken up. You've got a season, but within the season you've got series. And the series is only like 4 to 6 episodes. So you can come in and do like 2 or 3 shows and then bounce because you get kind of a little bit of a reset at the beginning of the series. And then you can just hang out for those and then, go on and do your thing, chicken wing. And if you've never seen Doctor Who, it works out perfect because the new series is kind of reset the basics a little bit at the beginning of the series. So if you've never seen it or if you're a classic fan, it works out great for both sides. So that's the nice part about it.
You are in an arc where you get the first explanation on how Gallifrey should look. You don't even get the name of the planet. You just
There's a bunch of firsts. It's so
the dynamic with Susan changes a lot. Dude, I love that arc. I absolutely, God damn it. So good that you are doing original Doctor Who.
Common, it's been real. Thank you, sir, for being here. Have a magical rest of your evening. Iron Castor, and by the way, Castor, before I say Vince Womack, thank you for plugging all the men's plugs on YouTube and Rumble. I do notice it. So shout out to Vince Womack and shout out to Brad Young for the direct donation tonight. All right, Iron Castor, plug your plug.
Right. So Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, we do the Mech Pit chat where we talk about big robots. So, stuff from like that Mega Man trailer we saw the other day with the Game Awards and probably whatever's going on in the world of Tokusatsu, some weird stuff like that. And yeah, by the way, so I've got the next couple weeks off of work, so I have nothing but time, so maybe we'll do some random game streams. Guys, come play some Guild Wars. You can come in for free. It'd be a lot of fun. We can try this. Like, the offer's out there. I have some 6,000 hours in this game over the last decade, so I might know a thing or two. I might be a little.
He knows a thing or two. You hear that? He knows a thing or two. Hey, and he's got pizza. Come on. How you losing with that? How are you losing with that? All right. Well, hey, Castor, it's been fun. Great to hang out with you too as well. Always. Sir, you have a great night. I hope your puppet has his friends and hang out on Snowdub tonight. And Chet, we're getting the hell out of here, but we'll see you back next week. And fingers crossed, we can get a rare longer show out next week. I don't want to say it's going to happen. It doesn't, but fingers crossed because I would like to do. We haven't done it in a while. I feel like the last one before Christmas would be really cool to do that. So, anyways. Chat, we're going to get the hell out of here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting this show. You all have a magical evening. Goodbye, good fight, and good night. Thank you.
I smell horse shit. It's horrible, but I can smell it.
Smell that shit, man.